Story.
You don't just wake up one day and say, hey, I'm going to commit fraud. It's a process.
And throughout these pages, Aaron Beam describes the process that nearly caused HealthSouth to collapse.
You succumb to Wall Street pressures and pressures of the Richard Scrushies, and you do things you really shouldn't do.
Beam admits he inflated HealthSouth's numbers, but he insists the fraud was ordered by Richard Scrushi. Beam describes working for Scrushi, saying he had misgivings from the first time he met him. Even so, Beam writes, I went to work for him because he had a brilliant business mind. As it turned out, it was his only redeeming quality as a human being.
I just felt like it was time for the truth, the unedited truth, to come out.
Weston Smith is the whistleblower who alerted the government to the fraud at HealthSouth.
I was told to meet the FBI and several other federal officials at a suite in the Winfrey Hotel on a given night at a certain time, and I was told to park on the opposite side of the Galleria Mall and take a serpentine route through the Galleria in the event that I was being followed, to try to shake anybody.
Just like Beam, Smith admits to being part of the fraud. Also like Beam, Smith says Scrushi was behind it all. Smith writes a chapter in the book saying Scrushi would not listen to executives who tried to warn him about the consequences. Quote, he told us to get the hell out of his way and not to bother him with this BS again.
Richard simply would not allow true numbers to come out. He would become extremely angry, extremely defensive. He was so busy with his narcissistic ways that the company just began to slip.
But once the company fell, it was people like Smith and Beam who would go to prison. They paid for their crimes, and now they're working to rebuild their lives.